back and happy Tuesday. At this point, you guys are used to seeing me in my kitchen, in my house, whatever else. This is a very professional background, which is not normal, but we are here live at Money 2020 today for day 3 of the event. And I was sitting back, there's so much content going on, and I decided there's one thing that I started hearing across the stages that I wanted to make sure that we had a deeper conversation with. So this week's topic is on biases in AI, i.e. artificial intelligence. You guys know what that is. We'll have that conversation now. So I have a very special guest live with me. Usually we're doing the remote thing, so this is pretty amazing. We have someone who is groundbreaking in the space, Sharon Fortune Bowden. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
And looking fierce and amazing at that.
I need to be equal.
We got to do it. So first and foremost, okay, AI, tech can be quite a complex, deep space. So talk to me about why Sharon? Why are you interested in this?
It's important. In this particular field, on this particular topic, diversity and inclusion matters. We cannot have the same group of people focused on the problem and solving the problem in the same way. We need diversity in thought, we need creativity in solutioning, and we need forward thinking. So it's not about what's going on today, but it's really about preparing for what's going to happen tomorrow.
So when you're sitting, you've spent a lot of time looking at this concept. When you sit back, what surprises you the most?
2 facts. 1, gender equality here in America between a white counterpart, college graduate, upwardly mobile, and a black counterpart, college educated, upwardly mobile, 10x. 10x. That's incredible. When I heard that, I went, why? Why is that the case, right? And it's really about access to resources. And how are access to resources judged?
Yeah.
And offered? It's offered through your credit worthiness. It's offered through the lens of data and how that data is being analyzed for you. Now, why is the data being analyzed based on the color of your skin? Not necessary. So how do you remove that? How do you then infuse a level of fairness and equality into how you evaluate it? So that's 1. Point 2, since 2010, there's been a 3x in creditworthiness. So across whites, Hispanics, and blacks. Whites are at the top, Hispanics a little, maybe 2x, and then blacks 3x. Again, no real reason for that other than the data and the machine learning around the data that's analyzing you as a person and the worthiness of your credit is the reason behind it. So that just drives me to say, hey, I believe we can do something a little bit different here. I believe we can turn this ship upside down. I believe that there are alternative data sources that you can look at and evaluate Sharon at a different level. In particular, as we look at the future.
So, it's interesting. You hit on a key word. You talked about access and equality. Magic Johnson on Sunday night was talking all about that because it's a combination of both. It's like access, but and education around it as well. Because it's like getting access is one thing, but then having that second level where it's like, here's what this means for you. And he gave this great example of throughout the U.S. This is like the least techie thing, but it was such a great, like, applicable example where he talked about opening Starbucks in towns where they didn't have it. He's like, but I used all of the local communities to be the vendors to help build that. So he didn't bring in some big, because like that's where the things like really, really matter the most. So when you sit here, and we saw this actually on the stage earlier today too, Assia Bradley was going on this crazy example of a very famous football player, and he opened up a banking account in Arizona. And they're like, oh, to be a private client, you need to put in $250,000. He's like, cool, here's $1 million. And he didn't, on his account, didn't show the private client thing. So he went there, and the junior person, and he has a video recording of this, or an audio recording of this. And the guy said, my boss is scared of you. You're a big black man, so that's why it isn't happening. He thinks if you get mad, you're going to yell at him and hurt him.
Really?
And this is a professional athlete. Like this stuff happens, and it's really unfortunate. And it's not 10 years ago, 50 years ago. This is today. So when you think about the future, how can we think about financial equality moving from here?
Awesome question, and I think about this a lot. It really is going to require us to be all in. Everyone, not just me, not just you, not just the banker currently today, but everyone, to buy into the models, to look at really what is the approach, what is the process, is it fair, and not have a biased opinion on fairness, but really have more of a collection of ideas so that we can be creative about building our future, because that's what's going to be important. There should be a own Starbucks on every corner as far as I'm concerned, right? And that ownership shouldn't be predicated on your credit worthiness based on the way your credit worthiness is evaluated today, because there is a good deal of bias baked into that particular process.
100%.
And again, it's proven with the equity gaps and with your personal wellness.
It's 100% true. And I when I was at BBVA, I spent a lot of time in Latin America, and it's the same concept. Basically, there's so many other data sources, paying phone bills, utility bills. There's so much that you can know about someone that we need to be using more and more so we can actually have everyone, level the playing field and go from there. All right, Sharon, this has been great. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. It's been a very fun conversation. For all of you, as always, please click on the link below. You will have Sharon's full Q&A. You'll get a lot more into her background, why she got into tech, what she's doing at IBM, and there's some really great things in there. So thanks again, and until next week.